Hi, my name is Lauren McCarthy, and I'm an associate professor in the Design Media Arts department. This program is really great for anyone that's interested in making art that uses technology or responds to it or is just operating in that context. And the students coming out of the program go in a lot of different directions. Some of them build an independent art career, some of them go into teaching, some of them work as designers, and a lot of other fields too, education, journalism, organizing, and activism. So there's a really big range of careers that students pursue after the program. And I think that's one thing that sets it apart from some of the more traditional studio art programs where there's not one particular career path that we're trying to push students towards. So in terms of timeline, the applications are due in early January, and then you usually hear in the spring, and that is for students entering in the fall. And then the program is a 2-year program, so running from fall of 1 year until summer of the second year. And during that time, in the first year, it's really a lot of exploration and figuring out new dimensions of your practice. And then in the second year, it gets more focused. So you're working on a thesis project over the duration of the year, which results in a final show and a thesis paper. We have a range of financial resources. This is a program that is very supportive of students in a number of different ways. So first, there are scholarships, both external ones and internal ones through UCLA and through the department. Additionally, a lot of the students work as teaching assistants or graduate student researchers or lab assistants, either in the shop or in the game lab or in some of the design studios. And when you do one of those positions, typically you get your fees remitted too, and you get a stipend. So it varies from student to student. Every package is tailored according to need, but in general, this is a program that's not going to put you deeply into debt. That you should be able to come here and work to kind of offset some of the costs. And in that work, the hope is that it's not just to pay bills, but that you're also getting something out of it. So, a lot of our students go on to become teachers. And so their experience as a teaching assistant helps them out a lot, or their experience working in the shop or in one of the labs prepares them technically to kind of advance their practice in those fields. So I think for every applicant, the thing that I'm always recommending is that whenever they apply, they think about it as a time to really take 2 years and just focus in on your practice. So I think it's a really good program for people that have some sense of direction and some sense of their practice versus, just coming in and kind of wondering where to go. This is really a focused program. It has a studio approach. So rather than taking a bunch of classes that structure your time, there's a few classes, and then a majority of the time is spent in the studio focusing on the work that you want to make. So the right time to come to this program and the right person to come is the student that has some vision about where they want to get with their practice. And they might not know exactly what that is, but they know where they're at and what direction they want to go in. A really good place to learn more about the program is on the website, dma.ucla.edu. There's a section on there just for MFA candidates that walks you through all the program requirements, fees, application process, and the program in general. In addition, you can find a lot of the work of both current students, alumni, and faculty. And that's a really good way to get a sense of whether this program might be a good fit. You can look at the work and think about, whether you could imagine yourself kind of fitting into or adding something to that context. And then additionally, we have a lot of shows that are open to the public. So pre-pandemic, they're in person. Now they're kind of a mix of in-person and online, which means that even if you're not in LA, you can see the work online. And I think that's a really good way to get a sense of what's happening right now in the program, what people are thinking about and doing. I just want to highlight one thing that I think is really cool about the program, which is just there are so many different focus areas. So there is, for example, the Art Science Center that is thinking about art, mixing with the science fields. There's the Counterforce Lab that is really focused on social and environmental justice. There's the Game Lab that is exploring games kind of across the board, everything from like board games to VR to game art. And then there's the Conditional Studio, which is looking at art made with software and really engaging with community. So I think one of the things that's cool about this program is that you come in, you're doing your studio practice, you're with a cohort of students that are all working in really diverse and different ways. And then there are these focus areas to go even deeper and to figure out like, how do you build a career in this space, and how can you kind of define your own path rather than having to fit yourself into like a predefined role or box. So I think that's really, really fun. It builds a sense of community and just like a really nice mix of bringing art and technology together in different ways. In terms of advice, people sometimes ask about putting an application together. I think the thing that we're really looking for in that process is answering the questions of, what is my practice about and where do I want to go with it? And then why does the applicant want to do that at DMA? So as you're putting things together in terms of work samples and statements and all of your materials, really think about that. It's less about showing us a huge diversity and range of different projects and different contexts. Really, like, you can do that, but focus in on the ones that really are representative of what you're excited about and where you want to take things next. And make sure that you highlight those, or in your statements, you kind of point us towards that so we can understand where you're hoping to take this, how that fits with the program, and how we can support you in that. And my name is Lauren Lee McCarthy. I represent Design Media Arts, and thank you for listening. Hope you check out the program.